It's getting close to the preseason, and you know what season it is. NBA, the hottest game ever. The game where you get excited for the dunks, the passes, the alley-oops, the step back, baby. About to start next week in October, preseason. And we're looking a little bit about the summer plays called getting in shape, getting ready, getting that wind touched. NBA players, Chris Johnson Hoops. Shout outs to this man. Sign up to the channel, giving us all the undercover stuff we like to see. Basically what they do in LA Fitness to regular Joes like us, right? It is what it is, but the topic of conversation is going to be your boy, Mr. Ben Simmons, making these demands, telling these guys no bueno, and maybe Rich Paul, but, no bueno, no comeback. Yo, trade me. Trade me right now. I kept talking about the premier team that's going to take him, but let's look at another player that could possibly be in that discussion. Everyone has started to fill out and say Houston does not have a shot. It got me thinking because I saw Benny with John Wall. I seen Wall. And if you watch this, Chris, go ahead and sign up for this dude, man. NBA All-Stars, Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, John Wall, Joe Johnson go off. By the way, Joe's still a bucket, by the way. Probably young Joe Johnson averages 28, 29 against these guys. Let's be serious, all right? Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of John Wall. Okay, he is controlling the court. No offense, Ben Simmons is probably one of the most spectacular big man passes by what I'm seeing in this offseason game. They're probably going 60, 70%, maybe some plays 95, but most of the time it's probably about 75, 80. Ben Simmons is an exemplary passer, man. If you watch this thing, you'll start to see the specialness in his game with the ease of the way he plays and puts people in the right position, all right? But as we continue to talk about the landscape of the NBA, what about Houston Rockets? What about Ben Simmons and the Sixers? What about a trade for John Wall? That has been talked about a little bit. I don't know what the other pieces would be. I would think of Ben Gordon and a John Wall. Eric Gordon and a John Wall. Yeah, I'm from New York, so yeah, I remember Ben Gordon. From Jersey. So Ben Gordon was in the Mount Vernon area. But Eric Gordon and a John Wall? I don't see why not. I do not see why not. Okay? Exciting opportunity for this cat. I love what I'm seeing out of Johnny. Look at this. He was getting to his spaces at any time. It appears that Achilles has fully circumvented itself, and Mr. John Wall is ready to be a premier player once again. Russell Westbrook has proven even after 30, you can still be productive in this league with one of his better seasons with the Washington Wizards, almost averaging a triple-double. Hence why the Lakers went after the kid. So John Wall in his early 30s, I think, is in the same boat. We got these guys at a stagnant prime. What a stagnant prime mean is they're not going to get much better from an athletic perspective. Their knowledge is so much there because of the experience that it circumvents some of the things they lost with their athleticism. And they're better players now, kind of like an older Michael Jordan was a better player than a younger Michael Jordan. That said, John Wall may be able to have for the cheap, considering you may get Eric Gordon. Lord God, let's step. Wait. My man, John Wall is also one of my favorite point guards. Okay? I mentioned him in the top 10. What he's going to bring to the table is open up spacing for Mr. Joel Embiid because of this shot. His shot has definitely improved. I think it makes the most sense for Daryl Morey to go back to his old roots with Houston and attack John Wall as the next player to go get. It would be a pretty even trade. And I think, no offense, I think John Wall would actually open the floor a little bit more than Ben Simmons because of his speed, which is still there with the Achilles. I'm suffering from an Achilles injury. Not sure of the depth of it's not total tear like he had because he wasn't able to walk. I'm able to walk. My thing was on my particular injury, I can still jump, but I cannot push off too bad or run. Every time I run, I feel pain in that Achilles. All right. And I'm still recovering. For him to come back and still be able to run and say he's painless is exciting for me, because I think this is where we see the next level of John Wall, where he's able to, again, get into the front court, push the pace, drive, and then Embiid, Tobias, all those guys will be on the outside. I still think you go get Mr. Eric Gordon along with him in this trade, because Eric Gordon, look at the shot. Eric Gordon wants to go, but definitely Johnny Wall may be the best option when you think about what they're getting back for the Houston Rockets. All right. Ben Simmons would fit in there. I know that the 76ers would try to sneak in Christian Wood, but imagine Ben Simmons running the floor at the power forward position. They're going to have Christian Wood, Jalen Green, and Kevin Porter Jr. I think that's exciting. My issue is Ben likes the ball in his hands. So does Jalen Green, and so does Kevin Porter Jr. If it was just Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green, I'm telling you, that's enough balls to go around. They're good. Those two could go feed off each other. It could be like the Dame and McCollum on the West. No doubt about it. That's enough balls. They could both drop 30 if they so wanted to. But now you add in Ben Simmons. He doesn't like to shoot. That's the key thing. But he needs the ball to be able to create whatever he needs. Yep, that's John Wall again, boys. He needs the ball to be able to create the offensive plays for somebody else. And I think Jalen Green is also, I need the ball to be able to get my rhythm. And I think Mr. Kevin Porter Jr. is in the same realm. However, because of his lack of scoring, I think he would play dividends, because they'll say, you know what? He's going to score the hell out of this ball, Mr. Jalen Green, and well as Kevin Porter Jr. We can utilize him, have him play off the ball a little bit more, and support the Houston Rockets' future. And I think it'll immediately make them one of the scariest teams in the West. Either two of the teams between the Timberwolves and the Houston Rockets, that was the pass, makes this team a contender. Okay, easily, because of the dynamic he brings. Anthony Edwards, Russell, Karl Towns Jr. Okay. Karl Towns has the advantage where he can shoot more than Christian Woods at this stage of his career. That's Joe Buckets. That's Joe Buckets, at this stage of his career. So it'll be interesting to see him in that role, but he's another guy who needs the ball. Christian Wood can handle, but I'm not sure he needs the ball as much. I'm not sure this kid needs the ball as much as Mr. Karl Towns Anthony Jr., who I think will have to live near the ball more often than none because of the way he plays, okay? He's not really he's like a face-up player, so he'll crowd the lane. That's going to be a problem. He's going to have to step out on the outside, even though he has a very nice three-point shot for a big man, and Anthony Towns Jr. So if it's my bet for the best return of value, because I'm not sure who they would get on Minnesota, they would have to get one of the young guns, right? Jaden McDaniel came into play. They said that Edwards, they said that Russell and Mr. Karl Anthony Towns were untouchable. I'm not sure that's true for Russell. I'm not sure they don't get D'Angelo Russell in that trade. But if they can keep that core and everybody else is on the market, such as a Malik Beasley, etc., yeah, that makes that another big move. But the smartest move, and the topic of the day, was John Wall, all right? Ben Simmons should advocate for a trade there, because it makes most sense for both teams. And after watching John Wall in this little warm-up play in 3-on-3, he's back, guys. He's back. And if you're going for a championship, you only got a 3-year run. Get him in his prime right now. Let the boy play. Let's make the move right now. 76ers trade for John Wall, Eric Gordon, and the Houston Rockets get Mr. Ben Simmons. I'm signing off here. A long-winded talk, but after watching these two in this 3-on-3 and what they bring to the table, there's no doubt this is the best move to make for both sides. I'm out of here. Mikey B, a.k.a. Step Back. I'm gone.